Tensions between the United States and Venezuela have entered one of their most volatile phases in more than 2 decades. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has reappeared in public on Sunday for the first time in several days, viewers, ending speculation that he had fled Caracas as the US increased military presence across the Caribbean. Now, Maduro attended a specialty coffee award ceremony in eastern Caracas, insisting that Venezuela remains indestructible, untouchable, and unbeatable. He did not directly address the crisis during this event, however. Now, his appearance, viewers, comes minutes after US President Donald Trump confirmed to reporters on board the Air Force One that he had in fact spoken with Maduro by phone earlier this month.
I don't want to comment on it. The answer is yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about it?
No, I can't do that.
Mr. President, would you say it went well?
I wouldn't say it went well or badly. It was a phone call, yeah.
Trump declined to, however, describe the substance of this conversation, saying only it was a phone call. Now, the silence around the call stands in stark contrast to the rapid escalation surrounding it. Now, since returning to office in January 2025, earlier this year, Trump has reversed previous diplomatic openings and has adopted an aggressively confrontational strategy. Now, over the past 3 months, Washington has deployed more than a dozen warships, thousands of troops, and advanced aircraft to waters near Venezuela. Washington describes the buildup as part of counter-narcotics campaign. On the other side, viewers, Caracas calls it a preparation for an all-out intervention. Just earlier today, Venezuela accused the US of murder after acknowledging for the first time that some Venezuelans were among more than 80 killed in US airstrikes on suspected drug trafficking boats since September. A parliamentary inquiry will now investigate the attacks, including reports of a follow-up strike on survivors of an initial assault. Maduro's government, meanwhile, has also reacted sharply to Trump's recent warning, urging airlines and pilots to avoid Venezuelan airspace altogether. The Federal Aviation Administration, or the FAA, has already issued alerts about heightened military activity, prompting several international carriers to in fact suspend flights. However, Trump suggested the comment should not be interpreted as a sign of imminent strikes. Venezuela, meanwhile, responded by cancelling those airlines' operating rights. Maduro later sent a letter to OPEC accusing the US of attempting to seize Venezuela's vast oil reserves through constant and repeated threat. Now, for the Trump administration, viewers, the pressure campaign is intended to weaken Maduro's government even further. Washington accuses it of corruption, repression, and involvement in narcotics. Allegations US intelligence agencies have not substantiated several instances by the president. Meanwhile, critics of the administration argue that oil is a central factor, noting Venezuela's immense reserves and strategic position. Now, with military assets on the move, mutual accusations intensifying, and both the presidents offering new specifics about their latest contact, the path forward remains uncertain, to say the least. Now, what is clear, however, is that both sides are unwilling to retreat, and the region, well, is increasingly on edge as the standoff only deepens. Arjun Samar Mahendran for NDTV World.